Hello, everyone. So good to see you again. Today, we're going to talk about how to get your needs met. If you're live, please say hello. I'd love to see your name and greet you. If you are on the replay, put hashtag replay, okay? Any questions you have, any aha moments, drop them in the chat. I love the interaction. It makes it so much more fun for me. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the top 3 reasons you're not getting your needs met, what you can do about that, and what the deeper problem is that you probably haven't noticed. First of all, this is a normal problem. So don't feel like you're shameful or something's wrong with you if you're not getting your need met. I've been there, all my clients have been there, and frankly, it's a practice to have a marriage where your needs are getting met. It's not a one and done thing, right? So we'll talk about why that is. The number one reason you're not getting your needs met is you think it's needy to have needs. Okay, you don't want to appear desperate or nagging. You feel scared that maybe you're asking for too much. You don't know, like, am I even allowed to have needs? And maybe you don't even know what your needs are. This can happen a lot. It's like, I'm not happy and things aren't great, but what are my needs? If you see me glancing this way, I've just got my notes here on the phone. The number 2 reason that we don't get our needs met is we expect pushback. So before we even go to have that conversation, we're thinking about how it's not going to work, right? We have probably felt brushed off in the past, like maybe subtly or maybe roughly, and we don't want to feel that way again. Um, we may just not be able to handle rejection. So what if he says no? I won't be able to handle that. What if he ignores me? What if he doesn't take me seriously? And that just anticipating that possibility has us not take any action. Um, because silently having unmet needs might feel better to you than actually saying it and then still not having your needs met. Like that would just be such a slap in the face that you're like, no, don't even want to go there. And then the third reason I see women not getting their needs met is they just don't have the words, right? You know there's something you need, but you haven't really gotten clear enough on it to be able to articulate specifically what that is. Um, you want to talk about it, but you just keep building up the courage. You're like, oh, I'm not sure I'm ready. But the problem is that many women really have no idea how to articulate themselves effectively. It can feel clunky or awkward, and you don't want to mess it up or feel embarrassed that you're like not making any sense. A lot of times with my clients, I articulate their needs for them, and they go, "Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like I just didn't know how to say it that way." Partly that's because that's my gift. I'm able to make things clear to you that are not even clear to you. So, what can we do about these problems? Number one, everyone has needs. Everyone have needs in romantic relationships. It's not needy to have needs. You can and you should have needs. So if you're feeling like, oh, I shouldn't have to ask for this stuff, whatever, absolutely not. Absolutely appropriate to have needs. Number two, pushback is possible. But if you crumble at the slightest sign of resistance, it shows you're not really taking a stand for your needs. You're like dabbling, you're like putting your toe in the water. So you have to have the fortitude to navigate pushback if you want to be someone who gets their needs met. Number three, you can just learn how to phrase yourself. You can get some help from me or someone else you admire that can teach you how to articulate your needs effectively. And I'm going to teach you today a basic protocol for how to do that. So here's an example. Maybe your husband is always on his phone and you're like, oh, I hate that phone. He's addicted to that phone. He's scrolling TikTok. He's reading the news. Why won't he put it down? Is that a need? No. So we go, okay, well, what's a need? I want more quality time. I want eye contact. I want undivided attention, right? So instead of going for the phone, which most women do, like, oh, hey, your phone, like you're addicted to it, like, do you always have to be on your phone, which is just kind of a criticism and attack. You're gonna go for what you desire. Hi, Sarah. You're so cute too. Love you. Um, so instead of going for what we don't want, we always want to go for what we do want. We want that quality time, undivided attention. Why do we want it? So we can feel seen, heard, cared, loved for, prioritized. We want to know what receiving the undivided attention would provide for us. And then you want to be specific about when, where, and how this is going to go. You can't just say, like, I want quality attention and time every second of the day. You wouldn't even be able to provide that for someone every second of the day. Also, we all use our phones sometimes. So if you give a vague request that doesn't include the time, the place, the what, it's going to feel overwhelming. It's going to feel impossible, and you're much more likely to just devolve into some kind of fight about stuff that's not even what matters? So you might think, okay, when do I want this quality time? Do I want him to put down his phone during dinner so we can all talk as a family? Do I want it to be after the kids go to bed so that, we can have our own conversations? But again, it's specific to you and your desires and your needs, and you can ask for that. Just you have to own it first. Okay, so this is a simple formula. What do you need? What's it going to provide for you? And be specific about the context. Um, but if it's so simple, why is everybody not doing it? Right? Like we could just do this and get our needs met. Sounds very like easy peasy, right? Um, that's because there's a lot more going on under the surface, okay? The reason that most people don't do this is because there's a deeper block to the intimacy that you're seeking. And this is where the real work and transformation occurs. It's not about the tactics. There's tactics all over the internet. You can read 1,000 books and you will still not be able to get what you need. Okay, so the real reason that is so difficult to speak up is because somewhere deep inside there is a lack of worthiness. There's a question: am I really worthy of what I desire? You're not thinking this consciously, but you're not sure. Are my needs important? Are they valid? Is it right for me to ask for what I need? And also, is it safe for me to admit that I have needs, let alone ask for them? Like, these are all things that are really commonly held in our subconscious. If your parents, perhaps kind of shamed you or punished you for having needs or didn't meet your needs or made it seem like it was too much, or your siblings' needs were so heavy that yours were just like way on the back burner because they were out there causing a lot of trouble. If you're sensing that this might be your core fear and you want some guidance on how to heal from it, you can message me. I love to talk about this stuff. It's just so hard to see your own blind spots. And I want you to know I'm a fellow traveler. Like, I speak to mentors, I have a therapist because I also can't see my own blind spots. And it is an upward spiral having a healthy marriage. It's not, okay, I asked for the thing and now we're good till eternity, like now we can just relax because I said the thing, we had the conversation, it's over. It's like, no, you show up every day as a woman who's worthy of what she needs. You show up every day with your requests and your desires. If you don't do that, your relationship will lapse. It will become out of date. So I help you see how you are maybe getting in your own way a little bit and not even knowing it. And it's a burn for the ego. I hate it too. I hate it too, ladies. But it's actually really good news because that means you have the power to do something about it. Whereas if it's just on him, you're really victimized and you're really stuck. So this is really, really good news that healing the inner wounds around it is going to help you. Yes, we can't see our inner wounds even if we're clairvoyant. That's very true, Sarah, is that no matter how gifted you are in seeing other people's blind spots, if you're a healer or coach, is we still are blinded by our own. It's just like driving in a car and there's a blind spot. It's a mechanical thing. There's no getting around it. We do need support. We need skilled listeners and mentors and mirrors. Okay, so how do you know if you have some of these subconscious fears or negative beliefs? Um, this is some of the indicators that you have them. Number one, you delay speaking up. So it's never the right time, right? Like I know I'm going to talk about this, but it's just, I don't think it's the right time. A lot of stress in my life, a lot of stress in his life. Work's busy, then there's holidays, then there's Christmas. It's like we're just going to keep kicking this can down the road because the timing is just not right. That is because you are terrified, my friend. It is not because the timing is not right. Number two, not being able to find the words. So you're blocked in your throat, not because you don't know what you want, not because you don't have legitimate needs, but because speaking them feels so dangerous emotionally that and maybe as a child, like I have clients who are physically punished for speaking their needs. Do you know how terrifying that is as an adult to overcome the conditioning that having needs was physically dangerous to you? These are real things. Number four sign, oh no, that's number three, is crumbling at the smallest sign of resistance. So this is like I'm going in with it's probably not going to work, and as soon as he like sighs or like gives you a little bit of pushback, you're like, you know what, forget it. You know what, forget. Like we're famous for this, women, right? You know what, forget it, forget it. I'm fine, whatever. And it's like the conversation hasn't even happened. Or he says like, I don't know if I can do that, or like, and you're like, no, can't go there. This is a serious indication you have a wound because you cannot do the negotiation. You can't hear that maybe he has pushback or he has resistance or he has other stuff to it because you're not truly committed to getting what you want. You're assuming that you will not get what you want. And then the fourth indication that you have some of these blocks is that you're wondering if you did something wrong. You're wondering if secretly it's your fault for not being good enough. So you think, well, maybe I'll just double down on being more pleasing. Maybe I'll just be nicer. Maybe I'll just like, I'll just finesse this thing so well that I'm going to get my needs met. And no, this is just another way that you don't speak up for yourself. It's another way that you avoid taking the action you need to take. These signs are indications that you're stuck in a holding pattern. Be nicer, serve more, be better. I call it hustling for love. You will not get your needs met in this way. I promise you that. I have tried it. My clients have tried it. It's really heartbreaking because you're going to become some kind of amazing woman who can juggle her children, her work, her husband, her inner life, her self care while standing on your head, and it still won't work because you're not actually taking a stand for yourself. And it leads to just deep resentment and burnout. So, what I do and what I delight in doing is facilitating your development of profound inner confidence, strength, and clarity. So you can go and actually use the tools I teach you because using the tools is the hard part. Knowing about them, that's no problem. Okay. If you want to know more and if you're like, damn, this is where I'm stuck, I need some of this, you can book a free consultation. I call it a connection assessment. It's a deep dive one-on-one where we go into your relationship and I show you what the blind spots are. I give you your next steps and we make a plan so that you just don't keep getting what you've always got. So you can break the pattern for yourself and for your lineage. And you can actually create a relationship you're excited about. Okay. If you want to know more about this and you're like, I'm here, I'm listening, I'm going to tell you how I help women. And there's two options right now. So, one, I have one on one, high touch, hold your hand every step of the way coaching. It's called Magical Marriage One on One VIP. And this will be your fastest, most efficient way to become the woman who gets what she desires, to become the woman who's able to ask the questions, who's able to make requests, who's able to receive and not feel guilty and bad for like even receiving things. Okay. And so that's the one on one work we do. We can talk about that in the consultation. It's 90 days, and you really see a huge transformation around session four, which is incredible. Like you could go for years in these patterns, or you can be like, hey, I'm going to finally get help from someone who's walked this road before, and we're going to get through this. And then the other option, if you're like, I don't know, I'm not ready to talk to someone about this, I just give me the details, give me some learning I can do. I have a self-paced program called Happily Married Woman. I put the link in the notes above. And this program outlines my real love method, which is the comprehensive insights and practice and tools to create a secure, satisfying, passionate marriage. This is a steal of a deal. This will change your life, and it's something you can get to no matter what your lifestyle is or how busy you are or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna look at the notes. Sarah says, yes, we have so many tools. Why don't we use them more often? Because we don't feel worthy, right? We're busy taking care of other people. We're busy going, other people need my help. There's shit to be done. I'm busy. Life's expensive, blah, 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 blah. And we're using every excuse in the book not to take the time to put ourselves first, which is essentially step one of the real love method. You must put yourself first. I could go on and on, but I'm going to end it here and invite you to please reach out to me Comment below what stood out for you. What were your main takeaways? Message me, check out the link for my program. I am available to answer all your questions. I want to see you thrive. I want you to be in love. I want you to feel nurtured and cherished. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk soon.